Robocraft has always been a very complicated game, with a lot of things to learn if you want to have fun. Robocraft 2 really isn't any different. Some people would even say it takes it to another level. There are a lot of very long tutorials about this game. I've made some of them. They're great if you're the kind of person who likes spending hours of their free time researching the games they want to play. But I'm just going to show you how to get started with the true progression system of Robocraft 2, which is basically learning and experimenting. In my opinion, it's also really what makes this game fun. The first thing we're going to do is head into build mode. Start a new save, then press L for learning, to look at the tech ladder. Some of you who are super brainy will hate this, because it locks you out of trying the complicated stuff. But if you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, oh geez, this is a lot, don't worry. Either way, just focus on exploring the stuff you have, because I guarantee you, there's things to discover. You can make a better chassis, figure out how many wheels work best, where to put your turrets, how to make some interesting shapes for your artbots. There's actually already a lot here. I know it's painful for the people who wanted to learn something else first, but you'll probably find that you have more unlocked than you can learn about very soon. Okay, now to walk you through where to find everything. So, B is for blocks, that's so you can place things, like so. Q is your inventory no matter what mode you have selected, and that matters because C is for colors. You can change all of these however you like, you can adjust all sorts of sliders here. There's also a hex code there, and you can access your color palettes here. These other ones, materials, configuration mode, precon mode, those are all things you'll unlock later. You can use the hotbar by pressing the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. You can hold shift to actually set different hotbars. Right, now let's go on out here to Robocraft selection. So, draft save is basically when you open test mode, it will save it to the draft save slot here. And that's so that if you crash while you're testing your build, you can hit this little plus thing here, this duplication button, and it will duplicate it for you, so you don't lose all your work. There's two other buttons, delete and upload to the CRF2, which we will check out in a moment. There's a set mascot button here that changes what Robocraft appears on your front page, your main screen, I guess. You can change test map here, and you can go straight into test mode from the Robocraft selection instead of going into build mode. The battle matrix is basically a seasonal pass where you can choose what you want to get in what order for the most part. There's still areas which are locked depending on your level and how many other things you've unlocked. Everything costs tech points. You get tech points from leveling up in battles. You get 5 tech points per level. The blue hexes are things that are premium only. The orange hexes are things that you can get for free. The premium ones you have to unlock your battle matrix to get, which costs 1000 GC, or Galaxy Cash. And you get enough to unlock the next matrix if you play enough. Because if you see, there's Galaxy Cache hexes here, so if you unlock those, you can get the next one. So if you can play this game a fair bit, I'd say it's a good spend. If you can't, maybe consider not doing it. The vault is where all of your cosmetics that you unlocked from the battle matrix are. The CRF2, so you can see I've got my upload selected here, so if I unselect that, it'll show me everyone else's Robocrafts. By default, it is set to last month. So if you have my uploads checked when you have that set, then it won't show you everything. You have to set it to all time first. But you can see everybody's builds. They cost robots and Galaxy Cash, I should say, not and. You can go to my uploads to look at all your builds. You can customize them, choose color palettes for them. Materials if you want, you could do that if you really wanted to. Block variants, so on. You can buy Galaxy Cash from here. There's an item shop where things which were on previous battle matrices end up, and you can pay for them with Galaxy Cash. I have all of these because I played on the last battle matrix. There's a cog here in the corner which lets you see some settings and legal stuff, and you can enter codes by clicking that there. You can quit the game or log out. Let's go into options real quick. So you can change your cursor mode. So that is basically just whatever it is by default. If you put it on free cursor, then it'll be like it is in this menu when you're just building, I guess. I normally have it on crosshair mode, but you can change that if you want to. Join in progress battles. So if you want to be filled into matches which are missing players, in-game HUD. So if you ever notice that you have no in-game HUD, that's why. You can set your language and whether or not you use subtitles, set your graphics quality, so on and so forth. I think that's everything. Ah, yes, and of course, you can play the game here, so that's for battles, or you can go into build mode here. This here is the battle calendar. I'm not sure if that will be there by the time this video is out or by the time you're playing, but that used to be for scheduling playtests. So whenever there's a playtest, you can see this is the last one probably ever. And it's scheduled to happen in 9 hours. Yep, I think that's all. Now, the learning process. Everyone has a different process for learning in this game. Some people put tons of time into research, others do tons of experiments to find the best building techniques. Some find out what works exclusively from battles. I'd say for the most part, do whatever feels the most natural for you, especially if it feels fun. Regardless, there are some things to keep in mind just to keep you on the right track. 1. Theory only gets you so far. You can get a good idea of what's good by just theorizing about it, but you won't truly know until you see it in battle. Unexpected things can also happen in battle, which you never would have theorized about. 2. Battles are unpredictable and unreliable feedback. I could not tell you how often I have had a build I was super proud of, fought with it a bunch and dominated with it, then I get put against an experienced player and they take one look at me and instantly shoot a weak spot I didn't even know existed. Battles don't always tell the full story. 3. On that note, you should listen to other players. People often exaggerate, but they don't often lie. If someone is saying something works or is pretty good, chances are they're actually onto something. Likewise, if someone tells you they have a foolproof strategy that wins almost every match, maybe give it a go. If you don't like it, you at least learned something. 4. This one is very important. Remember the objective. That might seem strange for me to tell you when giving you things to keep in mind for your learning process, but it actually makes a huge difference. If you want to play to win, it's crucial because it affects your Robocraft designs massively. If you don't want to play to win, it's still important because being conscious of it lets you be aware of how you're deviating from it. If you're 100% focused on fighting and it's all you ever do, and you've forgotten that you actually win by shooting towers, then that can stunt your learning by distorting your view of the game. It happens. 5. I wouldn't stress this one if you don't have tons of time to play, but if you can do it, try to play builds other than your main. You especially want to try to play things which you really feel like are unfair or frustrating to play against. This is important because it helps you learn the limitations of that build and the effort that goes into building it. It also helps you understand its vital flaws and exploit them so you don't have to be frustrated by them as often. Now, 6. The last one I would really like to stress. It can be difficult, but it takes none of your time and it can be applied to real life too. Assume that you are missing information before you call foul play. I see a lot of people ask for buffs or nerfs before improving their own builds. I'm not actually making this point because it's annoying, I'm making it because I notice the people who do this often don't have fun. Think of every obstacle like a challenge. How can you better build against that flyer who keeps degunning you? How can you play better so you don't get destroyed by arcs all the time? What am I missing if I keep dying to railguns but all the veterans keep saying it's a terrible weapon? Even if you are a long-term veteran, it's generally best to assume that you don't have the full picture. This game is so massive due to being able to build anything that you actually probably don't have the full picture. So, that was the tutorial. I might in the future do a video explaining my own process for learning in this game. I might also in the future maybe do some videos showing how I practice for battles. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the game.